for Peek-A-Bliss.
Hi, my name is Veena. Our initiative Peek-A-Bliss aims at promoting the habit of book reading in children. We love to read books in different languages: English, Hindi, Spanish and French. We are going to read a classic story today. It's called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Entonces dime, chico, ¿cómo se dice Snow White en español? Se dice Blancanieves.
Blancanieves.
Muy bien. So we are going to read the story in English language. Let's begin. Once upon a time there was a little princess whose skin was so fair that they called her Snow White. She had a stepmother who every day asked her mirror, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror had always told the queen that she was the fairest until one day it said that Snow White was fairer. The queen was so angry and she told a servant to take Snow White to the woods and kill her. The servant could not bring himself to kill Snow White, but set her free to wander in the woods. Soon she found a tiny cottage where 7 little dwarfs lived. When they arrived home from their work that day, Snow White asked them if she could stay with them, and they agreed. The next day, the queen asked the mirror the usual question. But to her horror, the mirror replied, "Queen, thou art beauty rare, but Snow White living in the glen with 7 little men is many times more beautiful." The queen was very angry and dressed as an old woman, she went and tried to sell Snow White a petticoat ribbon which would have squeezed her to death. But Snow White refused. Later that day, the queen visited the cottage again and gave Snow White a rosy apple. Snow White took a bite and fell to the ground poisoned. One day, a prince arrived in the forest and took Snow White from the glass case in which she lay. The piece of poisoned apple fell from her throat and she awoke. The queen died shortly after, and Snow White and the prince lived happily ever after. Story complete. However, this is an old story and we are not concerned about our looks. We are more concerned about how we feel from within.
Let's read Rapunzel.
Adios.
Let's read Rapunzel, Mama.
Rapunzel? Okay, I'll find out.